Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about the new GT3 tire model in iRacing. So what's actually changed? Well, the GT3 cars in iRacing now use a completely revamped tire model, and the biggest difference I've noticed how much longer the tires take to warm up. In all my testing, it took at least 3 full laps before the tires reach their optimal temperature. And when the tires are cold, it feels like a completely different car. The GT3 cars now feel really understeery in those first few laps, and the force feedback is also kinda vague. Especially when you're turning into a corner or getting on the throttle, you really can tell the tires aren't just ready yet. On those first few laps out of the pits, you really have to be careful. One abrupt input and you're off the track. There is just no grip in high-speed corners when the tires are cold. I'll be honest, on my first few laps, I had zero confidence in the car. But every time I crossed the start-finish line, the tires got warmer and the grip improved, and thus, slowly the confidence in my driving came back. Once the tires are finally warm though, that's where my first impression really transformed. Now I feel like I can push the car a little bit more each lap as the tires get warmer. iRacing never gave me the kind of gradual confidence build-up before. With the old tire model, you always had to drive a bit below the limit. If you slid the car too much, the tires would overheat and the grip never fully recovered over a stint. And now, it seems like even if you do have a slide, the tires recover after a short cooldown. That's a big win, especially for non-pro drivers like me, you still have a chance to be competitive even things go wrong early in the race. Another thing I've noticed, the feedback from the front end of the car once the tires are warm is more precise than with the old tire model. This could be of course a placebo effect when you have the understeery feeling from the cold tires, but I feel I can trust each GT3 car more on turn-in with the new tire model. And the connection to the road, it's just better now. You really can feel the tire surface and the tire wall doing their job. When you're approaching a corner in a GT3 car now, really feels you can lean on the tires and sense the grip of each corner through tire wall and the tire flex. The old tires felt way harder and you would lose grip very abruptly. With this update it feels you've got a bit more room to play. So overall, I love the direction iRacing is going. The tires feel way softer, more connected and more predictable on the limit. And being able to recover from a slide, that's huge. That said, I do wish we had tire warmers. I tested all the GT3 cars for the new season at the Daytona road course, and honestly, the first 3 to 4 laps of just trying to warm up the tires got a bit boring to me. And when I crashed, I had to start over again. That was kind of frustrating when you just want to compare competitive lap times with warm tires. And then I started wondering how this will play out in the standard iRacing 8-minute qualifying session. By the time I'm recording this video I haven't done one yet, but I suspect you only get one proper flying lap with tires that are not really up to temperature, and that might be tricky. So has the force feedback changed overall in iRacing? No. The tire update didn't change the core feel of the sim, just added a bit more detail. We get better feedback from the tires themselves, which is great. To me, that's the right direction for the iRacing devs. How does this update compare to the GT3 update in lemansultimate? Honestly, I think the gap between the two sims is getting smaller. LMU's recent update also improved the overall feel, but it made the GT3s a bit harder to drive than before. The cars feel more front heavy now, and the slip angle window is a bit narrower. If you push too hard now in LMU, it's much tougher now to catch a slide. I actually made a full video about my force feedback impressions in lemansultimate, so check that out if you haven't seen it yet. Overall, I would say the iRacing GT3 tire update brought the two sims closer together. That said, once the tires are warm, GT3s in iRacing are still a bit trickier to drive than in lemansultimate. When the tires are cold though, both sims feel very similar now. That's my take on the new GT3 tire model in iRacing. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you also struggling with the cold tires on the first few laps? For now, I always tend to turn up the traction control to the max for the first few laps until the tires get warmer. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more iRacing and simracing content. Thanks for watching and see you on track.